Hello everyone, it's Julie from Camellia Crafts Designs. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with a Take 5 challenge. That's the challenge set weekly by Fiona, who is Miss Paintalot. You can find all the details of that in my description. But basically, I'll be making a journaling card and I must use these 5 things. The 5 things this week are a jewel, some ribbon, some lace, a flower and some stained paper. So I'm going to take that out so that I can tick them off as I go along, otherwise I'll forget. Come on, you do want to come out. Thank you. And I'll stick my planner back away. Right, we're going to start off with the last thing, the stained paper. I hope this counts, Fiona, because I'm not doing stained paper, I'm doing stained card. And what I've decided to do is use my Distress Oxide inks. Don't know why I had half a label on that. And I've chosen my tea dye and my vintage photo. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to smush some onto this mat. This works just like a glass mat would. I just got this because my glass mat reflects so much in the camera. I couldn't really do anything like this on camera. On the camera. Well, it's the ring light. You see the reflection of my ring light. So, right, I've put 4 nice smushes on. I've then got a bottle of water. This is my nice cheapy bottle. I did once have a Tim Holtz one and it broke, and I think I probably say that every time I do it with water in a bottle. Right, if you look on here, can you see how that ink just beads up? It were hard to see until we got water on. I'm putting quite a bit of water on. Now you can come straight in and dip it on like that, or you can just grab something, anything. I've grabbed one of these lollipop sticks and I'm just going to smush it about a bit. Otherwise, the only pattern I'd get straight away on that would be all those dots. This mat actually is a bit too good at its job, and I like to start mixing it a little bit before I dip my... It's still beading up. Can you see now? It's just a lot of these beads have joined together and the beading up. You see the lines just disappear. It's like magic. They'll just be blobby. You can't dictate what the pattern's going to be. It looks different every time. So I'm just going to drop it in and pick it up first time without pressing. Oh, look at that. Looks like my paper's been rained on. So if I'm not happy with it like that, come in, put a bit more water on there, shake it about. Then I think I'm going to go back in for another dip. It's all run when I did that. Oh, look at that. And all of a sudden it looks like tea-dyed paper, but perhaps a bit darker. Oh, me likes. Because I don't have any tea-dyed paper left in full sheets. I've got scraps, but I don't have any big full sheets left. Right, I'm not too bothered about getting any sort of end markings. What are end markings? Right, that's what I just wanted for starters. I wanted to get it all covered. I'm then going to come in with my heat gun and dry that. I'm going to grab a bit of kitchen towel. See if I can do this one-handed. I don't want to get a new sheet off. I've got a scrumple sheet inside. Why would I use a new sheet when I've got an old sheet that's not dirty? Yeah, if I've just used one to dry something and it's clean, I just scrumple it up in the middle for when I'm doing things like this. And you can come in and... Now, other side of this is going to be a different story. It's going to have all sorts of marks on, but I'm not too bothered. Had I wanted to have it just look as though it were tea dyed, I would have turned it over onto the mat. But I'm not too bothered, because I'm not keeping this looking all nice and clean like this. And don't bother about this warping and wobbling. You can always straighten it after. I've got a little tip for straightening it, but it only works if you've got a laminator. In fact, it's not a tip, that's it. I've told you, stick it through your laminator. It tends to straighten it lovely. Right, that side's just about dry. So can you see that now? I've still got some blobs. I'm going to come in and dip again. While it's soaking that ink up on the other side, I'm going to do this side. This is going to be the back. This is going to be the back that you write on. So I'm not too bothered how fancy or not this looks. Like I say, it's the other side that I want to come up and layer up with some ink. With the distress inks, the oxides don't mix and make horrible muddy colours as much as the distress inks do, if you know what I mean. But they're also very good. Once it's dry, you can then put another layer on top. They're more opaque than the distress inks, these oxides, and sometimes a bit of a chalky look, but I like that. Right, oh look, we've got a few marks on that already now. I'm just going to come in and get rid of that because I don't want any more on back now. I've got the back as I want it. I'll just dry this. Sometimes I'll use a bit of muslin for doing this, and then you end up with bits of stained muslin. In fact, I'll be honest with you, when I remember to get a bit of muslin, I use muslin. But that doesn't often happen, does it? Right, that's just about dry, and as you can see, it's wonky donkey. So I've had my laminator on heating up. This is a 10 quid laminator from Asda. I've had it years. If it gets stuck inside it, it comes apart really easy to take it out. So I'm just going to see if it's going to, that end's too wonky. So let me just show you what I do so that things don't get stuck in the laminator. I use a piece of this label backing sheet. It's like with the, you know, with the really high powered, like I used to help in school, and we had to use those carrier sheets to put our lamination pouches in. It was just like this kind of stuff, and it covered it. So as long as you put it over that leading edge that's going into your laminator, things won't get stuck. To be honest, when I don't put something there, I'm just being lazy, aren't I? So yeah, we now just wait for that to go through. I hope I've put it in the middle. Sometimes I don't get it in the middle and then I crinkle all my end up. I think it's okay. So we're sending a wonky sheet of card in, and we should have a lovely flat sheet of card come back out that end. Here it comes. It's like watching paint dry, isn't it? Can you see the difference? Look. Oh yes. So this is why I never stress about my card getting too wonky. I do this with tea-dyed paper, you know, when I'm too impatient for it to dry. I'll just whack it between two of them label sheets. Well, one of those label sheets folded in half, and wang it through my laminator. Oh yeah, I like that. This, making it flat at this point will help with me putting my patterns where I want them on the other side now. So yeah, it's a very slow laminator, this. I don't know if all laminators are this slow. I think it's as old as my kids. No, it's not. Kids were very little actually when I bought it. Right, so there you go, look at that, how much flatter that is now. And do you know, I like both sides. But I'm going to keep that as the side for writing on. Right, this side I'm going to come in and put some more ink on. So I'm going to get another splodge. This time I'm going to use Vintage Photo, and I'm going to go a little bit darker. I'm going to put my walnut stain on as well. So I'm just going to do one splodge of Vintage Photo and one splodge of walnut stain. And this time I like those small beads. I want the small beads. I want some patterns. So squidge my water on. This is kind of thing that you'll decide how you like it with trial and error. Oh, we didn't get any patterns, did we? That were a bit rubbish. I think I pressed down too hard. That's better. Look at difference. That were me popping it in and splodging down. That were me just popping it in nice and gentle. Now I'm going to come in and dab that with my kitchen roll. Can you see we've now got more pattern on it? That side just went a little bit, yeah, wonky donkey, didn't it? That's the word of the day, that. Do you remember Anton Deck, Saturday mornings, wonky donkey? I think it was that word, I don't know. You'll know from what I now go on. I love older TV. I think some modern TV is rubbish, but then again, some of it is amazing. Well, in case I'm just dipping it in. I just like these patterns now. Right, I'm going to dry that off because I don't want the back to get any more ink on. And I'm just going to lightly dry this with my heat gun. If it gets too wobbly again, I'll stick it back through my laminator. But you can usually straighten it out with your heat gun. If it's curling up, turn it over and it'll flatten back out. I just find sometimes when you've got a lot of water on, it ends up really wibbly wobbly. Right, I'm liking this now. That just reminds me of a drafts pattern, that where you get the little dots. And that's not technical. It's not like, if you want to go at this, don't think, ooh, it needs to look like that. It's not going to look like this. I don't think I've ever got two looking the same. Just play with it. Search Tim Holtz, look for his demonstrations. He is the best person to watch. So yeah, I'm just gonna, can you see now it's flattening out a bit as I heat the other side. Yeah? I mean, I don't like things too wobbly or wrinkly. I don't really like tea-dyed envelopes and things when they're all wrinkly and wobbly. I don't know where it is. And it looks lovely when other people do it. But I just can't get my head past the wrinkles and wobbles. Right, I'm going to stick this through one more time, but you don't want to watch that. You've seen it once. I'm going to pause. Yeah, I'm trying to pause. Go on, you really want to pause. That was my hand. And I'm back. Right, turn the laminator off, put it away because I'm not going to need that again. You don't have to do the laminator bit. If you can live with your card being a bit wonky, just live with it. I can't. Right, I'm going to grab the chopper now and I'm going to make a journaling card of no particular size. So I'm going to cut this about in half, but not quite. 5. I'm going to use this side. So how wide's this one now? That's like 6 and a bit. 6 and a bit. 6 and a bit by that much. 4. I think that might be a bit big for me to cover. I don't think so. So now I've got 4 journaling cards, or they could be tags or whatever. So they will now go in my inked and tea-dyed tags folder. So that's the one I'm using. I really like that. And before we go any further, I'm going to shift this inking mat because I'm not going to need it. So that just gets rolled up and popped away. There we go. Back to green mat. Perhaps not quite as bright on your eyes. Now I'm going to ink round the edge of this. I'm going to use my walnut stain. Yes, because you can see it's not the main feature of the card, the ink, but it just makes a lovely background. I love playing with it. You can play with other colours as well. Oh. I'll do it back. No, I'm not going to do it back later. I'm going to do it now. You can ink quick, look. Speedy ink Zarlis. Whee. Don't forget the wee when you're inking, it goes much quicker. Right, so let's tick that off. Stained paper, tick. So now we want a jewel, some ribbon, some lace and a flower. Now this journaling card is crying out for them Tim Holtz flowers, isn't it? I've got them, so I'll use them. I'm still trying not to make anything new or buy anything new. I've got enough to last me a lifetime. Oh, I do like how that brown looks. I really do. I Don't know if these are Tim Holtz ones. Some of these are, I've got some Crafters Companions ones from years ago. Oh, I do like them. But I'm going to have to mix them with some colours. Should we do yellow and orange? Oh, I like that. I do like that. Let's get some orange on. But we don't really want the fern to be the focal colour. We want an orange flower, don't we? Not an orange fern. I could have that sort of like, oh, do you know you can just keep going with these, can't you? It's done now, right? I'm going to switch camera off. No, I'm not. Oh, I like that yellow there. Can you even see this box room? I don't even want to cut any more of these out till I've used these, because they drive me mad getting stuck on each other. Absolutely mad. I'm never cutting loads out again. Oh, that's not. Oh, I've done that with two-sided paper. Does it need some red? Does it? I think we need to get rid of that. I can never decide with these, you know. Have some red. Oh, I'm quite liking. Oh, and I've got another brown one. I do really want another palish yellowish one. Did I have that once and put it away? I did, didn't I? Can we stop there, do you reckon? Be 3 days tidying this up again now. Totally will. So I think we've filled the flower brief there, haven't we? Definitely. So I'll put that one away. I can't put lid on because they're all hanging out everywhere. Look at stateroom. Oh. Right. I just love the look of loads of them. I can't even get these apart now. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to start layering them up. These are very much underused by me. I see other people do gorgeous things with them, and mine just sit in a box. I think I want these at the back. Yeah, I'm going to layer up from the lightest colour up to the brightest colour. And I'm going to use this. I saw Tania at Tatty Treasures using one of those little quickie glue pens. I've got one of them somewhere. Probably dried up. I used to use them again when I was card making, or that when I was doing wedding invites. My junk journaling supplies are an accumulation of, I always say 20 years, but then I forget time's passing. So it's more like 30 years worth of craft supplies from different crafts I've been into and then not been into, and like past businesses. Like I said, I did have a business selling supplies. We're not fancy. I used to buy stuff in from USA on eBay and then sell it in UK on eBay, because things were just so much more expensive. So I just used to buy in bulk and sell. That was just my business model. And I also used to sell card and envelopes. I used to make up the card blanks and sell them in packs, boxed up in 50s. Me and my best friend used to sit at my kitchen table. We're going back to days where I was single here, yeah, and my kitchen never got used for anything other than crafting. I had a huge kitchen. Put it into perspective, my cooker was so clean because I never used it. We could pack, it was a halogen one, we could pack card and paper up on cooker. No fear of any contamination from grease or food. Yeah, ooh, to be single. I used to work full-time in day as a driving instructor, and then the eBay was my second job, although it earned more money than being a driving instructor. Those were the days, weren't they? Those were the days. How your life can change. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Right, I need something to get the glue. When I get a bit of glue poking out that I don't like, I tend to just use a little bit of card. This'll do. Oh, this were a gift bag I was making for my daughter's friend's birthday. Yeah, just you just get it off. It comes off very easy with the corner of a piece of card. And if you've got any still sticking up that you don't want sticking up at any point, just dab a bit of glue underneath. And if you can't get your point of your glue in, put it on a card and do that. So I can see I'm going to have to do it with that. So yeah, and I need to use what I've got. When I first started junk journaling, it were all about using anything and everything what I've got. Then you get into it and you watch more people and you see them buying stuff and you think, yeah, I've got to have that. Well, that needs to end. Use what you've got, woman. Right, I'm going to pop that one there. Yeah, I'm going to have it there. Yeah, I like it there, she says. Right, next I'm going to come in with this lighter yellow one. Yep. Yeah, I'm just going to pile loads up on top of each other on this. Yeah, it makes you make yourself feel old when you think, you know, for like junk journaling purposes, for second-hand purposes, anything over 20 years is vintage. Yeah. My brand new supplies I bought back in the day are now vintage, so yeah. I probably use vintage default time and don't even know. But anyway, the upshot of this waffling is I need to pare down what I've got. Someone commented on my craft room tour about it, and yeah, I was saying my aim is to get rid of some of my storage, use the things out of them, and have a second desk, a standing desk. It'd be better for my posture, better for me, easier to use certain things standing, like die cutting machines. It's always easier. So that is my goal. So I am going to be doing a little series starting in next week or so, showing you what's in my drawers. And then we'll make something to show you what I'm going to be doing to empty my drawers. So I've got to be honest, a lot of them are just full of stuff that I couldn't possibly use in a million years. They're not really high value for selling. So I'll make some things, sell some on Etsy. I was thinking of having a bumper giveaway when I get to 1,000 subscribers and just bundling a whole load of stuff up. I need to crack on and get some racks done for the couple of groups that I'm active in. Yes, thank you, Violet, for your gorgeous envelopes. I still haven't messaged you, and I can't show the envelopes because I don't know where I've put them already. They've been here since yesterday and I still don't know. I don't know where I've put them because that's just me. I put things safe, and I think, well, I put them safe out at Kids Way so they don't go picking them up and messing with them. And then I forget where I put them. Right, I definitely need another yellow flower. It's got to be another yellow flower. I need it over this side. Well, not a flower, a leafy ferny thing. Is that the same one there? Oh, I think I've got a similar one but smaller. Yes, I'll use the similar smaller one. Yes, that one can go there. So yeah, I'm not doing no earth shattering here, I'm just sticking to Holtz. Yeah, flower dies on. They're the Wildflower ones, most of them. And like I said, I'd one or two older Crafter's Companion ones. So yeah, the plan for this Showing You My Drawers series is I'll just grab one of my drawers, show you what's in it, and then you can tell me in the comments what you want me to make with it. And then each time, oops, after I've made a project, well then I'll then show you another drawer, because a lot of my drawers are what I call desk ephemera. That's when I'm fed up for everything I'm making on my desk, I scoop it all into a drawer and stick it in there. So some of the drawers could be pared down quite easily and quite quickly if I just took things out of them and put them where they actually live. Oh, I do like that orange. So we're going to have the orange there, and then we're going to have the big red one. Oh yeah. And do we think that's then enough? I think that will then be enough. I don't know whether we need that other orange one. I don't know if I want the orange coming in front of the red. I really like. Don't know where on earth I'm going to put lace and jewels and yeah, where am I going to put lace and jewels and what's the other one? Ribbon. Well, we'll have to put an hole in corner and dangle some lace, jewels and ribbon off it, won't we? Boom boom, done. I were only saying in one of Fiona's lives, whenever there's lace or ribbon involved in one of these challenges, I just punch an hole in and stick it through it. So it looks like I'm going to be doing that again. Whee. So that's that one. Oh yes. I hope I haven't put that too near middle. I hope I've left room for this. Oh yeah, I have. That's perfect. Yeah, all this card I've cut these from is card from, does anyone remember the paper mill shop? I don't know how long it is since they stopped trading. It might be about 10 years. But that was one of the things I sold on eBay. I used to drive to York or Mansfield, because I'm like in the middle, Rotherham, Sheffield, and I'd fill my car with boxes of card and paper. Plus I'd use a few different wholesalers and warehouses around Manchester and one at Batley. And yeah, I used to sell it all on eBay. But back then, back in day, I think I started doing it like 2001, and eBay had only been going a couple of years, if it were even that. And it was one of those, I think I was in at the beginning of it, then lots of people started doing the same. It got more competitive, and then postage has just gone astronomical, and it's just really, it's very difficult to sell card and paper in small quantities online now because of the postage. For an independent person it is. I suppose if you're at big business and you get contracts with your mail carriers and it's much cheaper per item, it's still doable. But for me as an individual, it's not something I'd ever consider doing again. I didn't have time to make things. I got too bogged down in business and supplies and never got a chance to make. Now that I like. I really like that. I don't know what I'd put it in because I'm not doing anything in that style at the minute. But I do just love these. They don't need anything with them, do they? And I've gone a bit mad there. How many have I put on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, so that doesn't follow rule of 3s and 5s, does it? We've done 8. Does that follow rule of spiders? They have 8 legs. Maybe. Right, ribbon and lace. This is very rustic, isn't it? Excuse me, I've no lozenges left. One of my kids needs to get out of bed and go to the shop. So we want ribbon. Here we go. Let's get some rusticy ribbon, if that is even a word. Rustic ribbon. I'm turned behind me now, delving in my drawers. Ooh, that might just be a bit too neutral for this. What have I done? What have I done? I've unwrapped the whole spool of ribbon. Oh, what am I like? Oh, I think we could put something across the bottom. ribbon and lace. Grab some lace, which is now all to the left hand side of me. That could be quite rustic, might not be wide enough, might need a wider one. I think I've got a wider one out here already. Have I? Yes, I have. Right, what we're going to do here then? I'm really tempted just to put across the bottom some of this ribbon on some of this lace, but then I don't know now if I like the ribbon. Let's grab another ribbon because I don't like that one. Ooh, is Rick Rack ribbon? Is it? Is that ribbon? Or is it Rick Rack? Is that not ribbon? I've decided Rick Rack is ribbon, so if you don't agree with me, Fiona, you'll have to come and get me after school, won't you? So, yeah, I just think I like that across the bottom. I do. So I'm going to cut it off and I'm going to glue it. Because I'm going to put ribbon across the middle, I might glue it with double-sided tape. Do you think this might be easier to put the Rick Rack on first? Just cut a bit off, woman, and stop fannying about. You can go there. Yeah, I always like to, if I cut the exact same length, then glue it on, I always end up with it short at one end, so I've cut it a bit longer. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to glue this on with, what should we glue it on with? I'm going to glue it on with this Cosmic Shimmer. I don't mind if it comes through because I'm covering it with Rick Rack. The world will not end. I love these challenges because it gets me thinking. I can't just put what I want on and then spend all day getting this, that and other and then think, oh, I'll just go and print this, oh, I'll get that. I'm limited to 5 things, so they're the 5 things I've got to use. End of. That's the challenge. And I love that about it. I could use a different colour Rick Rack, but I just want this to just fancy up the bottom. I still want the focus to be on those lovely flowers. So yeah. Which side of Rick Rack am I going to glue? I don't know. It looks the same. So again, I'm using Cosmic Shimmer. Look at this, it's like, you remember those metal games? We made them at school where your little round wire loops got to go around those. Without making it buzz. It felt like that when I was just putting that glue on that Rick Rack. Oh, I like that. It's totally not straight, but I do like it. I'm so glad I didn't use Fabri-Tac because I couldn't have peeled that off. It would have been too well stuck. I've got no eye for this kind of thing, you know. No eye whatsoever. Use your grids on your table, on your mats. Look how wonky that is. That's like 1.5 centimetres and that's like 2 at that end. Crazy lady. So let's make it level at 2. Do you know what? I'm going to need a bit more glue on there now. I've peeled it off that many times. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I can get things straight some days, then others I've not got a chance. I think back to when I used to do wedding invites and they'd have thrown them back at me. They really would. State of some of these if they'd have been this wonky. Ooh, so we've now used the marks on our table to line that up at about 2 centimetres up the card. That's better. Don't look like one at Kids made it with their eyes shut. And I'm going to let that dry a little bit more before I cut the ends off. So let's pick some jewels. This should be good. I'm going to try and pick some that pick out the colours in the flowers. Let's tick off what we've used. Make sure we're on track. We've used ribbon, because we're calling Rick Rack ribbon, end of. Lace. And we've used the flower. I've just made my wick whack. Oh my god. Rick Rack wonky there, haven't I? Look at my Rick Rack. It's just took on a mind of its own. Put that right away from yourself to dry, woman, because you just, yeah, nightmare. So I know I've got some jewels. This is my jewel chest. I love it. Oh, I've got coloured. They're not jewels, they're, yeah, pearls. I've already gone past them. I've got some multicoloured ones. You can see my shopping habits there, can't you? They're letters. I had to have them in work sale. Never used them, but there they are. They'll come in handy one day, won't they? Might do some monogrammed journal cards. There's my multicoloured ones. They're not the colours we need. Pink, maybe. Most of these are Poundland sheets. They're so good. They come in little strips. In the UK, that. I'm assuming you'll have something like that in Dollar Tree or... yeah, Tuesday morning. Oh. If I ever visited States, that's all I'd do. There'd be no sightseeing for me. It'd be shopping. They're the ones I were looking for. I knew I had them somewhere. There's a few colours left on that sheet. I've got a little bag of ones that aren't ready glued as well. I don't think I want to go delving through them though. Yeah, I think that's it. Just get those red ones out. No, I bought about £10 worth of those ones from Poundland once, and I took them into at school for a project I was doing with kids. They loved them. That were it. They were, yeah. I'll have to formulate out. That was it. I don't know. I can't remember the full details of the project, but all schools around country were provided with an elephant. It was something to do, I don't even know what it was for. It's something to do with Olympic Games. And it had to be decorated. And you had to, yeah. Well, my girls, that were it. They decided arbitrary it was going to look like Meadowhall Shopping Centre, which if you've ever seen it at night, is covered in lots of lights. And yeah, the amount of jewels they went through were unreal. I love that jewel. That matches nicely. I love that jewel. So that's, but they're different shapes. I want to stick to one shape. So if I use one shaped one, and then, do you know what? I think I'm going to use a red one in the middle. No. Yeah. Never make a decision. A red one in the middle. No. I'm going to use that one in the middle. What am I like? Now I'm going to put some extra glue on this. Because apart from the fact that I just got it stuck to my finger, they never really stick on fabric. So that's just going to go there on the Rick Rack. Not quite there, but that's where I dropped it. I could have put it up there, but I don't want to. I want it here. And then I'm going to put red ones either side. But do I want square red ones or little round red ones? I think I just want these teensy red ones. No, they'll be a bit too small, won't they? Yeah, they come off in strips, these. Yeah, I need to Google what on earth my girls made at school using 3 million gems. As well as... I think we ended up doing the whole head of the elephant in all these colours. Yeah, that were it. I didn't... Do you know, having a bad memory is terrible. I didn't actually decorate that bit with my kids. My kids were in a different year and I were helping out in one of years that were decorating their part of the elephant. That were it. They went a bit mad with jewels and everything. And then it were my kids' class, who were higher up in school, that did Meadowhall Shopping Centre in gems. Yeah, these elephants were then displayed in one at Sheffield Museums. I couldn't even tell you if this was a countrywide thing or a local thing. But I'm sure some of them ended up in something to do with Olympic Games. I really can't remember. Right, there we have it. We've got our gems on Fiona. They're about as straight as an elephant's back leg. I can't do straight today, it's not happening. It's not a straight day. So, is that everything? Yeah, jewel. Done. So, there we have it. Just need to trim these edges off to make it look like we didn't forget about it, which we did. And that is my journal card. Sorted. I'm quite happy with that one. I'm getting good at these Tim Holtz flowers. I shied away from them before. And now I'm just like going mad with them, aren't I? Putting 26 on every project. So thank you very much for joining me. Again, you'll find the links to Fiona's Facebook group and her YouTube channel below. So thank you very much. Bye. I'm off to Google elephants.